Hey folks, Lemonade here, and we're going to be taking a look at the mouse that actually replaced this mouse in my hand, the Model O- wireless, as my new main. Let's welcome in the Viper V2 Pro. All right, let's get right into this. We got quite a lot of information to cover. So quick specs out of the box. So Focus Pro 30K sensor is what's equipped on this. That's Razer's latest and greatest. Has 80 hours of battery life. That's actually improved from what the box says of 70 because there was a firmware update. I have not hit that 80-hour max myself. 1000 hertz polling rate. It can support up to 4000 hertz polling rate with this brand new dongle they released. We'll cover that a little bit later. The weight of it for the white version is 59 grams. For the black, 58 grams. They reduced it by 16 grams over the Viper Ultimate. Dimensions are 126.8 millimeters long, 57.6 millimeters wide, and that is actually the grip width. The total width over here in the back area where it's kind of touching your palm is going to be 66 millimeters, and its height is 37.8 millimeters, and it sells for $149.99. Put a huge asterisk on that because we're going to cover some interesting things in the pricing section. Now, I normally would cover the box, but I don't have a box. And in the box, there's grip tape, which I couldn't test. And again, I will cover the details of why there's no box in the pricing section. But just so you know, there is grip tape included with this. I just didn't have it, and I can't test it, so can't speak on it. The cable itself is just all right. Honestly, it's a bit stiff. The Glorious cable, the Ascend cable, is much better and more flexible. The dongle is super nice on this. I really like it. It's got this rubberized kind of coating on the bottom, so it sticks on the desk really well, and has the actual USB receiver has a V2 Pro logo on it, so you won't get it mixed up with any other receivers on your PC. Build quality feels quite good, and the weight is perfectly balanced. I mean, it's just like so centered. It's amazing. We're gonna do some quick close-ups here. Take a look. USB-C, hallelujah. Logitech, what is going on? USB-C on this. Nice finger grooves. Keep you locked in on mouse 1 and 2. Side buttons. Great position. Great placement. No complaints there. And the overall skate design. And this hybrid setup with the 2 small feet at the top and the larger BTF foot at the bottom here. And then one around the sensor ring itself. And then you have this power button. This is one point of contention for me. You actually have to hold this thing for 3 seconds to turn it on and 3 seconds to turn it off. You can also cycle DPI here. I would have just liked to switch like every other mouse. Just have a switch. Razer, I don't know why you decided this 3-second hold thing. It's like deceivingly not 3 seconds. It's almost 4 seconds. And you have to kind of hold it weird to activate it. Anyway, fix this. Just make it a switch. All right, let's get into the sensor itself. So there's a lot of tech here. I'm going to go through it quick, but just stick with me. So again, we got the Focus Pro 30K sensor. It's the custom version of PixArt's newest 3950 sensor. Razer has exclusivity on this sensor at this time. The current top-end sensor in mice is the 3395. You'll find that on the Pulsar Pulsar X2, the Lamzu Atlantis, and my PureTrack Valor are some of the latest ones that carry that sensor. In mice like Glorious, you'll see the 3370. And then Logitech uses an adaptation of that. Quick stats on this thing. So Focus Pro tracks 750 inches per second and has a max acceleration of 70 Gs. That sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo. Well, just let's break it down for a second. So 750 inches per second, a 500 millimeter mouse pad is a total of 19.5 inches. Let that sink in. It tracks 750 inches. This is a 19.5 inch mouse pad. It also tracks 70 Gs of force. Formula 1 drivers experience up to 6 Gs on corners. Again, let that sink in. Suffice to say, it's all completely overkill. We'll kind of go into my overall thoughts on that in just a few. Switches themselves. So Razer opted in to go with optical again on their switches. So we got Gen 3 optical switches, 90 million click lifespan, 0 double clicking issues, 0.2 millisecond response time. They claim it's 2 to 3 times faster, but there are some tests from Optimum Tech and Freethy on the older Viper Ultimate and the V2 versions of those optical switches, and I doubt that Razer's claim is 100% accurate. That said, they are technically the fastest on paper as the data shows, but it's really like a 1 or 2 millisecond difference over top-end mice like the G Pro X or glorious Model O. All that talk about tech aside, I still have to give it to Razer for pushing the upper limits of tech and providing pros with exceptional gear. Will it make you better at the game? No, but will it make a difference in some of those 0.1% of fights? Maybe. And that make a huge difference in ranked or competitive play. So again, thumbs up for Razer for pushing the fold of technology. All right, the overall switch feel itself, it feels pretty solid. It's my first outing with optical switches. They do require more force to actuate than Gloria's Omron switches, and they're a little bit louder, but it's more of a thicker kind of sound compared to Omron switches. So mileage may vary. I don't necessarily pay attention to sound too much when I'm wearing headphones. It doesn't really bother me. All right, the skates on these. So 100% full PTFE, and they are literally the best stock skates I've ever used on a mouse. You do not need to swap these out. That said, I will be testing the new CorePad Air skates just for the sake of trying them out, see if there's any difference or any benefit. But these really are great as is. Don't worry about swapping these out until you need to, maybe 6 months to a year down the road. The coating on the mouse itself is a textured surface similar to the Orochi, or if you have a keyboard with PBT keycaps, it has the same kind of texturized plastic feel. Honestly, it's my preferred stock coating as it doesn't show any smudges and gives you kind of a locked-in feel. You have BTL grips in store for testing, but again, like the skates, I think 99% of folks are just going to love it as is. In the box, remember that this does come with the Razer grips, and I hear they're pretty decent, so you have that option regardless. Now, the closest mouse I have in comparison to this is the Model O minus. Obviously, this is a little bit smaller. I will be getting the Model O Pro in the next few weeks, which is truly the closest in dimensions to the Viper, so stay tuned for that video. But if you like a lower height profile, and that's what the Model O minus and the Viper Pro offer you, then you're really going to like this. It does just kind of slide under your hand really well, and it's good for a lot of different grip styles, and it's great if you don't like a mouse that engulfs your whole hand. Size of my hand is 19.5 by 10 centimeters. The shape is fairly versatile, really, for any grip style. I think a relaxed claw, fingertip, or palm would be best. I think aggressive claw, it doesn't feel as comfortable for me just because of the lower profile backside of this particular area on the hump. In-game performance has been beyond fantastic, and I'm not sure if that's the shape, the skates, or the crazy tech, or all of it combined, but it's 100% my new main. It's an absolute joy to use. With its versatile shape and well-balanced weight, I can recommend this for virtually any style of tac or arcade shooter. It's a gem of a mouse. All right, we're going to bring you into the software, and then we're going to go over a couple things on Razer's website that I wanted to show you that's special about this, and the pricing, which I alluded to at the start of the video. All right, folks, we're here in Razer's Synapse software. It's obviously the same one that they use for all their products, and obviously it pairs seamlessly with multiple Razer products if you own them. Of course, yeah, you can customize all of the buttons if you choose to do so. Performance tab, you have sensitivity stages that you can have multiples of or disable down to 1, up to 1,000 hertz polling rate, again, stock. Calibration, and this is actually really just really interesting. So by default, you have this kind of normal tracking distance setup. So of course, this is kind of setting a cutoff point for your mouse where it would cut off tracking, so low liftoff distance, medium, or high. But enable asymmetric cutoff. I highly recommend setting this. So watch my mouse for a second. Now, if we just leave it in a low tracking distance here, so I'm picking up my mouse, putting it down, picking up, putting it down, picking up, putting it down, picking up, putting it down, and you see this kind of skipping around when you put it down. That's kind of a glide as it goes down to the landing point. Now, if I enable asymmetric cutoff, and we'll center it over here, picking it up, putting it down, 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 picking it up, putting it down. So you can see there is still some movement, but it's a lot more controlled. So what it's doing is it's actually, you can set a specific liftoff distance down to 2 millimeters, but also the landing distance, and it's compatible across any surface. And it's really cool because it keeps your mouse really kind of as much as it can dead center without causing cursor drift as you're landing back on the surface. Now, on the website itself, this is the wireless dongle I was talking about. Again, you can purchase this for $29.99 if you can get it. It's constantly out of stock. People love it. So just a heads up, the 4,000 hertz polling rate is unlocked with this. You have to purchase this. Otherwise, you'll be stuck at 1,000 hertz. So a couple things I wanted to show you. If you're a professional or you're serious or you're really trying to push ranked play, here's some kind of advantages that Razer's pointing out. So 1,000 hertz, obviously this is probably over exaggerated, but 4,000 hertz, it gives you just smoother tracking. There's just more data coming through to your computer and the position of your cursor. Now you couple that with, in the sensor, there is a new piece of tech called Motion Sync. Again, you can go watch Optimum Tech. He has a video on this and he tracks it, and it's pretty spot on with this demonstration here that Razer's providing. So normal mice, and you'll see this on his video, there is some inconsistency in the tracking and kind of rigidness as you're moving your hand along a surface, but Motion Sync actually kind of matches the timing with the CPU, and then you couple that with a 4,000 hertz polling rate. Essentially, you get a really smooth and buttery, consistent feel across any surface, across any kind of speed or flick that you're trying to provide. Now, I haven't used this personally, but from all the videos I've seen, it seems that people really do enjoy this combination. So again, huge shout out for Razer for actually pushing tech to this kind of consistency. Now, quickly, I was talking about pricing. So I got this on Amazon, like I normally do. If you're in the US or Europe or anywhere that supports Amazon, I just like the return policy. It's super easy. You can save a few bucks if you get the black model, but here is the kicker. I've never done this, but I saw that they were selling open box, very good condition versions of this. So I said, okay, what the hell? Why not order it? And mine was, I think, $95 at the time. So I ordered it for $95. It came open box. It did not come with the box at all for my particular one. Some of them do, so you can kind of look in here and see which one will come with a box, or if the box is damaged, etc. They'll kind of give you a description of it. But it came, again, no box, no grip tape, but the mouse, the dongle, and obviously everything I need to do this review and use the mouse. I got it for 96 bucks. I contacted Amazon and said, hey, I wanted the grip tape. I wanted to kind of test it out and see how it feels. Can you send me it? Or just give me the value of it, which is, I think, $10 on Razer's website. Amazon offered me a 40% refund on this mouse. So effectively, I got the Razer Viper V2 Pro for $58 after taxes. That's insane value. Now, even if Amazon doesn't offer you that kind of customer service, $96 for this thing. And again, it came flawless. I have zero issues with my copy. Definitely do it, folks. Check it out. The black ones also, you can get them for pretty much the same price on the very good condition setting. Check it out. I'm just trying to help folks out. I mean, for $150, it's a stellar mouse. For $100, there's just no way you can get anything better. Really, at this price point, this thing is amazing. And as you can tell, folks, I absolutely love this mouse. It's going to stay my main for some time here. And on that note, all my socials are down below with any affiliate links and discount codes. If you had a good time with me today, likes and subs are always appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. But until the next Fresh Squeeze video, stay thirsty, folks.